about to become richer than you ever imagined. I'm talking big money, life-changing money, and you're not going to believe how incredibly simple.
Hello, everybody. Hello, how is everybody this morning or this afternoon? I am here. We are focused. So turn the brightness down a little bit. Perfect. Right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to finish this base off. Base off! Ah, well. We might even do a little bit of a Song of Ice and Fire and paint a little bit of Daenerys Targaryen. I've got Danny here. Not too sure what all this is supposed to be though. Well, that's a blonde hair. A little bit of Danny. I also have Grey Worm as well. Beautiful sculpts. I do have a Targaryen army to paint, so. So we're going to need some grey. I think we'll get a little bit of flesh today. It's probably going to be another quiet day today, which is, I don't mind. Yesterday's stream was mental, but today's stream is probably going to be a little bit quieter, which I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Oh, good with that. Okay. So what I want to do is, I want this. The way I think about it is, you've got the tree here, so I'm going to have sort of like a green stain coming out. So what I'm probably going to do is a little bit of Dawnstone, I think, just for the highlights. Yeah, I'll do all of the green stains and everything else. Let's get these thinned down a little bit. How's everybody? Anybody in chat? No, just one. Just one person. Ah. Right. Yeah. Slowly build up these highlights. We're going to put some glazes in with some greens and whatnots into the stonework. Just especially in and around where the tree is. So I imagine that's where all of that would be. Probably could get a little bit of black actually and just, I don't know, glaze down the bottom of these stones, I think. See a little bit of Corvus black, a nice little dark grey, I think, would work quite nicely. Yeah, get a little bit in there. Get some shadows into the bottom of these stones. Slow and steady. So I was looking more at a bottom, and I need to sort of refine that gold a little bit. I'm going to use some Karnak stone and bring these stones up a little bit brighter, but yeah, I was talking about the gold, so I need to bring the gold up a lot more, a lot higher. Sort of just smooth out the blends and the midtones, but that's good. It's definitely what's needed to sort of just look back at things. So all I'm doing is just painting each one of these bricks, brick by brick. Just adding a little bit of shadow onto them. I'm going to come back in with some green glazes. So I'll just add some green mold type glazes in. Oh, poo, you know what, I forgot to do this one because I went out shopping. I forgot to do the affiliate link for Rosby & Co. Boo! I will do that shortly. Poppy's on the bed sleeping and she's snoring already. Dog sleeps so fast. It's hard life being an old dog. Super hard. So we raided the hobby room yesterday, which was really good. It was a good stream yesterday. A lot of people in. It's good. Today I'll be very quiet though. Oh, hello Sorantis. Thank you very much for that horse, my friend. Much appreciated. Today I'm painting bricks. Started work on the brickwork. Still a lot to do, but getting all the bricks done. A little bit just using wet and wet blending. Just to get those shadows in. So what were you saying yesterday, Sarantas? About the painting and stuff, about your speed of painting? Get a little bit of a shadow in here. It's not so much as getting a shadow, it's more of just putting a little bit of definition in the stone. You're saying about the speed that I paint and that you paint. Hey, Kraken. Yes and no. I think it depends on what I'm doing, depends on the speed. So likes of Abaddon's going to take me a lot longer to do than normal because I need to make sure everything is perfect because it's a Golden Demon entry. Whereas Yndrasta is a gaming piece, so I can afford to be a little bit lax on certain parts, but still try to maintain a good standard throughout the whole thing. So that's the reason why. But I think the difference. First, don't compare your painting to mine. I've had a long time now of practicing how I paint and what works for me and how I want to achieve certain results. And I've learned how to get fast results using what I want to do. So using a quick wet and wet method, I can get these bricks done quite quickly. And that's allowed me to, tackle things like this and get things like that done quickly. So what it is you just need to sort of find that balance of what you want to achieve and the speed of being able to do it. Hey bud, how are you? But it's nothing that you're not going to be able to do. You're a good painter and you're a good hobbyist, so it's just a matter of just you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to sort of start painting different ways, and then because I think what you're lacking is a couple of just the confidence to try to do some new skills and new techniques. And then what you'll find is once you've got a basic understanding of them, your painting will come on leaps and bounds because you'll be employing them quickly, and then it'll automatically just start falling into place. Starting on that wall now, you can kind of see that how it's bright Stormcast are the way. They are really cool. The new Stormcast is pretty awesome. So there was a points leaks for the new Stormcast Eternals book, and the new battle line unit was 140 points for 5 models. In the new battle tome, they're going to be 130 points. Which is kind of fucking crazy. Kind of fucking crazy because they're really, really good. It just pisses me off because my Wardens are 145 points for 10. And they have more attacks, better attack quality, a better save, and they're 10 points cheaper. 15 points cheaper. It fucking annoys me. Fuck you, Games Workshop. The new Stormcast Eternal book will probably be dropping around about the 17th of next month. So I started designing my first diorama, cut myself a round base from MDF, and we'll do a pond in the middle, surrounded by cliffs with a small waterfall and 2 samurai miniatures standing on to be proud ready to duel. I'm excited how it will turn out. Get pictures in the Discord and keep me updated. That sounds fucking awesome, dude. I'm a big fan of samurai. Because skeletons and fellbats. Have you seen that Seraphon have become Necrons? In what way, buddy? In what way? How have Seraphon become Necrons? I'm gonna. So this stone down here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glaze in. I'm gonna wet blend in some greens because I want this sort of bottom part to be a little bit greeny. Everyone's probably looking at me now going, what are you doing? What are you doing, Pointy? You're mental. Have faith, have faith, have faith. I'm going to blend this in. It's going to get darkened and all sorts of good stuff. A little bit more of that green. Oh yeah. They've been coming back for ages. Yep, there's they're not like lizard men from Fantasy Battle. They're now demons of the light. In fact, in first edition, they had the demon keyword. So what this will do is this will get me the green stain that I need at the bottom of the stone. Ah, very cool. So just gonna so that's the outside of the wall basically done, almost. So it's a case now of just so that part in there where it's all grey stone. Just going to get some Corax Black, thin it down to some almost a wash, and then wash all over those stones. And when that dries, I'll give them a little bit of a highlight. So I'm going to do this part. Yeah, I think Seraphon have been coming back for a while. They're a solid army. They really are a solid army. I would love to see them getting nerfed a little bit more. They are quite strong. Croak is incredibly powerful. Although he has lost a lot with the new incarnation of him. Yeah. That's going to be a big part of 3rd edition. Stormcast Eternals do it as well. She does it. In the start of her hero phase, every Stormcast Eternal unit wholly within 12 inches of her brings one model back with 3 or less wounds. And then when you look at the new command abilities as well, you're able to bring models back as a heroic action. So there's a lot of models coming back. No problem, buddy. You lurk away, bud. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to get this nice big stone here with some grey. Just wipe that off. Don't want that on there. Get some black. Again, there's going to be a lot of glazes and stuff going on this wall in a second. As I weather it up. It's very creamy, not very smooth, so let's just smooth all of this out. There we go. There we go. Just use that black. Smooth that stone out a little bit more. Just feathering it up and down. Essentially just wet blending it on the model. Okay, perfect. Get some pure dawnstone and just put an edge highlighting over the top. Okay. It's a little bit sticky now. That didn't take me too long to do. I'm going to get a little bit of Karnak stone, so I just want to bring those stones up a little bit brighter. Karnak stone's a really good stone colour, especially for working with greys. So get a little bit of dawn stone, a little bit of Karnak stone, so make that real bright highlight. I'm just going to put this all on the top, just feather it in. Like so. It's pretty much wherever you want the brightest point to be. Just feather it out. Use a little bit of it for edge highlight, darken that chip down. I found this friggin' cool samurai warrior miniature. Don't look. No picture. There's new picture. Alright. Alright, 28mm. You should check out Footsore Miniatures. Footsore Miniatures have a load of 28mm samurai and stuff. Because they sell a game called Test of Honor, which is a 28mm samurai and ninjas and all that kind of stuff. Should check that out. Yeah, it's a good game. They've used it sort of as a basis for their Greek game as well, Mortal Gods, which is like Sparta against Athens and Corthier and the other Greek city-states, as well as the Persians. Play 300 if you really wanted to. They've also got like a mythic version as well for what's it called? For like Sinbad and Medusa and all that kind of stuff. Jason and the Argonauts. So it's pretty cool. The guys over at Footstore are incredible. Really good, guys. Okay, so just bringing those highlights up on the wall just a little bit brighter, and then like I said, I'm going to start adding some green glazes and stuff into the wall, just to sort of pick everything out. So just add in these highlights just to bring it up. Okay. Kind of figured it was going to be a quiet day today, so that's fine. Just want to... Right, so before I start working... Well, actually, yeah, I'll do this side, actually. And then I can do the highlights. Now, the only difference with this wall is I'll do it here as well and in here, but all of this in there I'm going to relatively keep quite dark because you're not really going to see it. But this part here you do, and same as this part, but all of here I'm going to do like a green glaze. Okay, right. Ooh, I heard bells. Thank you very much for that follow, bud. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. I don't even know who's on today, but I can imagine someone a lot bigger than me. Thank you very much for that follow. Do do do. No, Lindy's on. Oh, the Honest War Game was on. Rob won't raid me. Rob doesn't like me. It's not a problem. I'm not a massive fan of his either. So just using some pure Karnak stone, I'm just doing some edge highlighting now. So this Karnak stone, it's a really good highlight for stone brickwork. It'll really sort of stand out. Good morning, Gig. How are you, buddy? It'll just stand out quite nicely. So just picking up, just keeping the highlight just on the extreme edges. Just getting that wall nice and done. I forgot to update my info this morning for the Rosemarine Co affiliation. Thing, but I'll get that done for the next stream, I will be streaming on Friday now. I wasn't going to be. I was meant to be climbing a mountain on Friday, but my very good friend Tom has badgered me and kicked off at me about going up there on my own. So he's went, "You're not going up on your own. Yeah, I'm going with you." I'm awesome, buddy. Yeah, I'm having just a nice, chilled out, relaxed day today. Being very productive. Got up, tidied the flat. Went for a really long walk with the dog, who is sprawled out in the middle of the bed, sound asleep. So yeah, it's been good. Played crazy golf last night with a girlfriend and her son, and yep, she won. 3 hole-in-ones she got. Can't really argue with that, really. So she kicked ass and taking names. But yeah, I was meant to be climbing a mountain on Friday, so there was going to be no stream on Friday, but there will be now, because I'm not going now until next week. I'm not going until Wednesday next week, because my good friend Tom, or 40k Captain Shenanigans, will not let me go up that mountain on my own. So we're both going up next week. So he's worried about me. We're perfectly fine, but I understand why, so I'll not argue with him. You know. So I'm just going to get these edge highlights on these bricks on this side, and then we're going to start doing the green washes and the stains. So how are you getting on, Gig? What are you up to? What are you working on? Do. Okay. So let's get with a brush. I'm gonna have to give these a wash after this stream. Let's make a bit of a glaze. What's that? Oh, Golite, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that follow, bud. Got one of my printed minis to paint for painting something different, having me motivate paint later, see if it helps. It's a vampire hunter of some kind. Ooh. Vamp hunters, eh? Sounds pretty cool. Okay, so I've done all the layering up and the edge highlighting of those stones, but this tree is going to grow there, so I want some sort of that green mossy type effect. So I've got some war flesh, so I'm just going to gently glaze in this green on the back of this wall where that tree is, like so. I sort of blended it into the bottom part of the rock because down there would be a lot harder and a lot thicker than where the top part would be. Especially along there as well. So that'll start slowly building up. We can also just do some of those green glazes in here as well. Just want to get some of these. Like so. Just realised I've got a skull in there to paint. Let's just not get the green on the gold. So what I'll do is then I'll do the other side. Start building those greens up. Like so. This is going to be in a bit of like a swampy looking base. Because I imagine that's what they've gone for when they've done this. They've created this base to look as though she's sort of like in a, you know, a southern bayou or something, where the hobgoblins live. You can get like a darker green, like a calaban green or something, and really sort of get that into the sort of darker points. Which I'm probably going to do now. And then we'll get some warps lawn green. Oh, thank you very much for that YouTube sub, Golly. Much appreciated, man. Thank you very much. So now I'm painting her gold. I'm at this crossroads of what should I paint my Stormcast Eternals? Because the original idea was to do them blue and white half and half. So, and obviously I've enjoyed doing the gold on her. So what should I do? What should I do for the? What should I do for my Stormcast? Some dark Caliban green glazes down the bottom just to make that a little bit darker. Just where it's going to sit the most as well. So yeah, I was thinking half and half. So got her down into blue and white on that side, and then a gold trim. That's what I was thinking of doing for them. Should we make a poll? Okay, that's pretty decent there. So yeah, the back of that base, I'm quite good. Some nice contrast with that blue and that green. Get a little bit of warpstone. So just getting that glaze now of warpstone, and we're just going to run it into the, patch it around and blob it on, and run it in around where, so the highest points, it's not all the way down the bottom. So I'm gonna, for the Patreons, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film a couple of, I'm gonna do the Incredible Hulk. I'm gonna do them on stream, and then as soon as the stream's finished, I'll delete the VoD, and then the VoD will be uploaded into the Patreon. Hey bud, sorry for the super generic question, but I've recently been getting into the whole mini painting thing. Do you know a good place to start? Well, yeah, me. What would you want to know? What kind of stuff do you want to learn? Have you started painting already? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah, the basics. Well, first I'll need to see roughly where you are. So if you've got any of your work, feel free to put it in the Discord, and then I can have a look at it, and I can give you some advice. And then I can have a, and then I can no real basic primary washing, but after that, okay. Well, fire some stuff in the Discord and let me have a look at what you're doing, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. So I'll get a bit of boot green, so we can highlight that up a little bit more. And this glaze is going to be a real subtle glaze. So once I see where you are and see what you're at, then we can work from there. This stuff really needs to sit in the recesses. Just dab that on, sort of like some fungi, some nice fungi. So this is basically glaze consistency, but rather than smoothing the glaze out and just stippling it on, get that uneven algae blooms. If it gets too much, you can just feather it out a little bit. You don't want it to be too all over the place. I mean, this is a magical forest or a swamp anyway, so it doesn't necessarily have to look 100% realistic. As long as you achieve what you're aiming to achieve. Can we get like that? Everyone starts at somewhere. I could show you some of my earlier stuff and you'd laugh. It's fucking terrible. Right, let's have a look in Discord, see if you've posted anything. Gorelight. Okay. Ooh, someone's posted pets. Oh, fudge. Oh, look at all these little doggies. Oh, it's not working. Still not working. Right, let's fix that. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. There we go. Cool. That's okay. Well, I've got that working now anyway. So if anyone does have anything that they want to share and show in the Discord, then feel free. It's there. So there you go. A little bit of algae blooms. So what I would do now is, because some of that green, it's kind of gone over those highlights a little bit. Now get some of this moot green and just pick out some of the points. Pick out some of those edge highlights with moot green. Right, so now what we need to do is we now need to do the other side. The first things before we do, we need to just glaze these. First things first, get some of that dark green. So what I can teach you is I can teach you the basics, and then I can teach you some more advanced stuff like glazing and stuff like that. Okay, I'm just going to glaze this into this. Definitely around there. We'll get all that done in a second. Okay. Need some Rhinox hide for these stones. Just realised what I should have done is I should have put the gravel and everything on already. That would probably make things a lot easier on doing the base, but never mind. I'll get that done later. I don't know what to do after I've applied the wash. I'd like to not to use the wash, if I'm honest, and apply the shadows myself. You can apply the shadows yourself, but what you're going to need to learn then is how to glaze, which is good, and it's a good way of doing them. But I would still apply a wash every now and again, because that wash gives you some depths that you're not really going to have straight away. And then, especially if you use something like a contrast paint, that'll give you that depth straight away, that you wouldn't normally get from applying the washes straight away. I need a drink. I'll have to go and get a drink shortly. Basically, what I've done, so she's getting there. I just need to do this side of the front of the base. This part in here, I'm not really going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that now, right in here, with some normal grey. Till about there. That's quite messy. And then I'm going to get some of the charcoal black, Corax black, and just wet blend that in. Feather that out. Put a lot more in there. Just really darken it down. Okay. Now I'll do the highlights on those stones here, and maybe this one, but the rest of it will be picked out in shadow. So, still need to do the inside of that cape, which I'm really struggling. I'm putting it off far too much. So I might go and get a drink. Yeah, I'm going to go and grab a drink. Then at some point, maybe we might paint Daenerys Targaryen up. What are those? That's her hair. And clean that mold line off. How very naughty of me. Cool. So then I've got grey wormers also. Dany and grey worm. I do have the dragons. The dragons are awesome. Dragons are in this box. Just got the dragons. See, I can sort out all my box. Look, so I've got the dragons. So we got. Gonna have to get these painted up at some point. They're going to be really fun. Viserion. That's the green one. Can't remember. That's Viserion, and that's, I don't know, one of them. But that's Drogon, the big one. Really nice. Need to clean them up, but yeah, that's Dany and her dragons. See, I do have 3D printed stuff. Little thing to hold all my tokens in. Right, I'm going to go and grab a quick drink. And when I get back, we're going to finish off this stonework. And then we're going to tackle that scroll. And then I'll do that. So she's literally almost finished. Apart from the wings. Which I need a prime. Wings are huge. That's what she'll look like eventually. So she's a pretty cool model. The only downside is there's going to be a little bit of a gap in between those wings there. So, but that can't be helped. I'll have to do them separately. Or what I might do is do the insides of them first, and then glue them in place, fill that gap in, and then paint the outsides of them while they're on the miniature. But, right, I'm going to go and grab a quick drink, everybody, and I will be right back. I am going to be playing an ad while I am getting a drink, so I will not be long. Give me a couple of minutes. Ah, what a mess. Nothing? Awesome, cool. Let's get on with this. Yeah, so Friday's stream, I'm going to aim to have the wings done, I think. That's what we're going to aim to do so we can get her finished. Okay, just smooth that shadow out in there. Okay. It's getting wow, it's warm today. It really is warm today. Ooh. So, just wet blending that shadow in. A little bit of a highlight. Okay, so this part in here is going to be fun. Put that shadow right at the top. Just wet blend that in. Get the highlight down the bottom. Again, I'll be coming back in with green glazes later. So underneath here, I'm not even going to bother doing much. I'm just going to get that dark grey, just put that in. Wow, it's really warm in here. I might have to open the window. Get the edge highlight on the front part, just to create that contrast between light and dark. What do you get disheartened for when you're watching the tutorials? What's the issue? What do you have that you're not understanding or having a problem with? So I'm going to keep the inside of this dark, but put the highlights on the outside. That way, creating some contrast. Still get some of that black. Just put that in there. Remember, I'm going to be glazing the green into this area as well. Cheers, buddy. So I'm just gonna get this dawnstone and just feather it into place. Creating a couple of highlights. Be coming in with a brighter colour for those more extreme highlights later. Thanks, buddy. Hey, Marv, how are you, buddy? The palette is drying out. It is warm. Cool. So that's slowly getting there. The long part is going to be that inside of that wall there, with all those little bricks. But we'll get this part done first. I need some more paint on my palette. It's starting to dry out. It's very warm. Alright, I know you're in you're down under, dude, and you got temperatures that even the devil would find bad. But, you know, I'm in the northern hemisphere. We're used to rain, snow, and heavy winds. We're not used to this sunshine shit. Summer's supposed to be over by now for us in the Northern Ireland. It's normally 2 weeks in May. It's now June and it's still hot as fuck. Once you post up in the Discord, buddy, and I see at what level you're at, then we can look at doing something advice-wise, and I can see what I can do to help you. Because it might be a simple case that you can't paint between the lines, which means that's one of the things you're going to need to start working on, is getting it paint between the lines. Or might be a simple case that your paint's too thick, so you might just have to learn how to thin your paint. But it's all be something relatively simple that we can work with and get you going. Hey Seb, how are you, buddy? Alright, cool, I'll have a look at that now. Do you mind me showing it on screen, or do you just want it? Do you not want it posted on screen? Cool. Right, okay, let's have a look. Okay. Do you know what, dude? You've got a good basics. Let's have a look. Cool, let's have a look. So let's see. So, okay. Right, for a start, you can paint between the lines. That's a good start. Yeah, okay, so your skin tones. Okay, so I see what you've done. You put a base coat on and then washed it. Right, okay. Same with this. Right, so all you need to do is learn how to layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to layer very shortly. I'm going to do some layering on this model that I'm doing now. And just show you how to layer up and create a transition from this darker blue to a lighter blue. So if you can see the cursor, right, your shadows want to be in this area here. So your highlights, you want to concentrate on the top of this leg, bringing them down to about halfway in, following that contour of that line. Same as here. All right, same as when it comes to the bandages. And then the skin tone is exactly the same. The metallic is good. Yep, exactly the same on the back. You can see the contours in the model. So that's where you're going to be building your highlights. All right, so how to do... dropped her. Not good. Lucky she's plastic. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is show you some layering. Yeah, right, okay, we'll do it here. Right, so I'm going to create a transition. Okay, so I've got some thin... Model down. So, this brick here, this one right here, right, I want to create a transition where I want the light to be at the bottom and the dark up here. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to get my darkest colour and I'm just going to paint this in where I want the shadows. Right, so I'll put the shadows in. Right, next, I'm going to get my mid-tone, which is the Mechanica Standard Grey, and I'm just going to layer that over the top of that brick. Okay, and then very carefully, with a damp brush, just feather the bottom out. And then again, just going to do another thin layer. Now slowly but surely start building that transition. Now I'm going to get some of the Dawnstone, thin that down, doing the same thing again in a nice thin layers, just bringing it up, making sure to leave that mid-tone visible in the end. You can kind of see that transition now where you've got the dark moving into the light. There's nothing, I'm not doing anything crazy here, this is literally just thin layers. And then if you really want to, push that up a little bit more. Use some Karnak stone. Right at the end. For that edge you'll highlight. Let it dry. A couple of other thin layers. There you go, you've got that transition now from dark to light, and all that was literally thin layers. So when you paint that, that guy's leg, if you imagine that that's the curve at the top, right? You're basically you're gonna get, if you're using GW paints, it's perfect. Use your base color, then get your mid-tone, which will be the layer paint, and then a brighter blue. And if you just thin layers over the top, but bring it only so far down, and then bring this layer only so far down, you'll slowly start building those transitions up. and you'll start to see a difference straight away. Then once you've got layering sussed and you're happy and confident with that, then you can do things like edge highlighting, and then that's the basics that you need. You're not that far off, buddy. You're not a bad painter. Alright, so that's like, don't worry about what I'm doing where I'm smushing colours in together, and like, you don't need to do that. What you need to do is understand how paint works. So you need to start from the basics, like layering, and slowly build those colours up. This is why I like the GW painting system for new painters. I know a lot of people will be like, oh my god, Games Workshop, so expensive, it's fucking stupid, they've got like 20 different blues, but I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. If the haters want to hate it, they don't understand how the system works. This system that GW employ is designed for new painters. That's what it's done for. It's not designed for people like me or people like fucking Phoenix Miniature Painting or people like Infernal Brush. It's not designed for us. It's designed for people like you who are getting into painting. So when I turn around and go, right, I'm going to paint a blue, I can go, well, I need a base coat. So here's my base. Now I need a mid-tone. Here's my mid-tone. Now I need a highlight. Here's my highlight. And if you look at the transitions, you've got a dark blue, a mid-tone, a highlight, right? There is no need to wet blend any of these colors together. You should be able to put this color on entirely, then thin this down and do thin layers over the top, and then do thin layers over the top of this to achieve essentially what I've done there, just not as refined. But you could still achieve this just by thin layers. There is blending and glazing going on, but that's beside the point. You could still achieve a transition like that just by thin layers. And that is what the GW painting system is designed to do. That is what it's entirely for. It's for new painters to be able to achieve those transitions just by using simple steps. And they even have paints that literally are edge paints. Like, that's what this is. Or at least it used to be. It's now labeled as layer. But Dawn Yellow is an edge paint. It's essentially white and yellow to edge highlight yellow paint. That's what it was done for. So there's your base coat. So to do yellow, you got your base, your mid-tone, your highlight, your extreme highlight, your edge highlight. When you turn them upside down, you've got those transitions right there. All the different layers. So this is what it's for. So whenever you hear people turn around and bitch and moan about Games Workshop paints, it's because, one, they probably don't understand how the system works, or two, they just see a load of paint and instantly think Games Workshop's are only doing this to make money. It really isn't. It's designed to help new painters. There's a big actual poster. I don't know where mine is now. Is it up there? Give me a second. Right, I can't find it. But right, what they used to have, and I will find it for you. I did have it somewhere, but since moving my desk from that end of the room over to here, it's kind of gone stupid. Right, basically what they had is they had a colour chart. And on the colour chart, they had straight down the middle all of the base paints. And then on the left-hand side, they had the layer and the highlight for layering and highlighting. And on this side, they had the colours that you would use for dry brushing. And then they also included the washes. So what I'll do is I will have a look for it and I'll put it up in the Discord. I can't remember where I put it. It's probably been put in a box somewhere. But essentially that's what it's for. It's a great useful tool. I don't think it's in date anymore, but it's a great tool because it shows all of the paints. That you've got, and then which colour will go with what, and what your mid-tone and what your highlight will be, and it's fantastic. But see if you see people gobbing off about GW paints, just tell them to shut up, because honestly, the system isn't designed for people that can paint. It's designed for people that are learning how to paint. I like them because I have a host of different shades and colours to play with. But yeah, it's not designed for professional painters. It's designed for new people. And if anyone ever argues about that point with you, right, just turn around and say, can you paint with primary colours? And if they say no, then say that they should be using the GW paints. Because if they know how to paint just with the primary colours, they don't need all of these expensive paints. You only need about 5 paints. You should be able to do everything else just with those 5 paints. But you'll find that most arsehots just like bitching about GW because it's GW. Yeah. People get freaked out. Let's have a look at what Mav did. Yeah, that's perfect, Mav. Absolutely perfect. So you've got nice, clean base coat, edge highlights. Mav's probably done the multiple edge highlights, so he's got the mid-tone and then up to a brighter one. Sort of create that sort of Tron type effect, but it works really well with the GW style. He's got the pin washing into the deepest recesses. Looks really good, buddy. And then he's got the layers over the top for the cloaks. Really nice work, man. Really, really nice work. Ah, screw them. They're moaning about GW paints, it's because they don't understand the system. I really hated people. See, some of the best advice I can give you is, one, do not ask for painting tips on Facebook. Just don't do it. Do not go into a Facebook group and go, hi, I'm a new painter, how do I paint this? Because you will get regurgitated shit thrown back at you by people who have no idea what they're talking about. They'll literally turn around and go, you need to reply 2 thin quotes because they've listened to Games Workshop's marketing team. Or they'll be watching Duncan Rhodes videos and he's basically using the same marketing tools and trying to put it off as gospel because that's his catchphrase. Don't go. The best thing to do is come here to Twitch or YouTube, find a content creator that you like their work, their painting, and reach out to them. You can guarantee that 99% of them, apart from one or two, will be responsive to you and will answer your question. The good thing about Twitch is the majority of the guys have Discords. So you join the Discord, post up pictures, and you ask for feedback. And that way you're getting the help that you need by somebody that kind of understands what they're talking about. And it can be helpful. But the last thing you need is going on to Facebook and asking Timmy, how do I paint such and such? And then just being fed shit. I've been on Facebook and tried to help somebody before and was told, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a shit painter. And this guy could barely paint. So, you're doing the right thing. Not necessarily coming to me, but you are doing the right thing. Yeah. Oh, we're big fans of Valrak here. See, once you've played around with the GW system for a bit, and you've built up your confidence, and you've kind of got a little bit of an understanding of how it's all working, and your results are starting to look pretty good, then what you can do is start mixing your paints. Start mixing your paints and making crazy colors and combinations and really going to town. If once you get to that stage, the one thing I will suggest you get is one of these. Okay, a color wheel. The color wheel is really good. These things are a little bit more complicated than what you need it to be. I think I got this free with an online order. But it's really handy. So basically, essentially is I'm going to start with a base coat of blue violet, and I'm going to add red into that, and it'll tell you what colors I'm going to get. All right. So by adding more red, by adding some yellow, by adding blue, by adding more white, by adding more brown, that's what I'm going to end up getting. But it's also really handy because it'll give you your color theory stuff. So your tertiary colors. So if I'm going to go for a yellow, what's its complementary colors? Well, oranges, or this blue. And it's kind of handy, especially if you're not really used to mixing paints. It's really handy to kind of have. I love mixing paints. But there we go. Got that stonework done. But that's the fun part once you're at that stage. Once you're confident enough with what you're doing, then just go nuts. Just go absolutely bonkers. And then you'll find that your painting will really start coming along. I hate McGrag Blue. I don't... I have no idea what they do with it, but it's not fucking blue paint. It's more purple. It's at this stage, painting this miniature, that I realised I shouldn't have bothered doing these bricks individually. Oh, so many bricks! Just getting those highlights up on those inside rocks. I'm not going crazy on these ones because, one, they're really small, and two, they're really small. Plus I'm going to be putting a wash and everything into these. Okay. Getting the inside of that wall's looking pretty good. So I just need to do this side now. Okay. Also, if you're new at painting, don't lick your brush. Bad for you. Ooh, got some metallics to do. Gonna do them nice and rusty. Cool. So happy with that. So what I'm going to do is just these outside rocks here. So I'm just going to do these ones here. Not going to go too far in because I want to keep that quite dark. Like so. And just blend that in. I think so. Just do this bottom set as well. Okay. I'm just going to smooth that out. Cool. So what I can do now is just get some of this. Oh, paint's drying out too quickly. Even on a wet palette. Alright, no problem, buddy. Thank you very much. Like I said, any questions, just fire them away at the Discord and I'll answer them for you. Pardon me. I'm just going to put some brighter highlights into these stones. Poppy's snoring. Cool. Quite happy with that brickwork. So happy with the brickwork in total. So now I just need to do the green stainage around that side. And then base her basically, and then paint a couple of skulls. And the base is almost done. Happy with that. Wow. Crazy. Thank you very much for all the follows on Instagram, guys. Much appreciated. Right. Oh yeah. Some more rustage. Let's do some rusty stuff. Then I think what I'm going to do is take a break. And so should we continue painting Yndrasta or should we paint something else? Ooh, there's a new Blood Bowl star player. That's one thing I'm going to have to start pinning up soon, is my Blood Bowl team. Oh wow, this is the new Blood Bowl star player. Looks quite nice. Crazy ass chainsaw. Cool. Right, so we've got that. So then we need a little bit of Scrag Brown and Troll Slayer Orange for the rust. And then a little bit of Nylok Oxide. Okay. So rusty things, Doombull Brown, nice reddy brown colour, perfect for rust. And then just stipple on. So it's just sort of gentle dots of Scrag Brown over the top. Nice little thin dots. Just create that rust effect. You probably can't see what I'm doing. It's such a great game. I love Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl is one of my favourite games. I don't play enough of it. Okay, so got some nice rust. So let's just let that dry. Because that Doombull Brown wasn't 100% dry. And then, with some Troll Slayer. Wow! Thank you very much for that follow, bud. Some Troll Slayer, just some nice little drops of Troll Slayer orange in and around it. Not too much, just nice little drops. Just to create that rust effect. Try not to wreck your brush in the meantime. We'll let that dry a little bit, and then we'll get some Nylox oxide on there. Okay, so I'm going to change the music while it's drying, and we'll put some Nylox oxide on. Thank you very much for that follow, bud. That was much appreciated. Right, Nylox oxide, give it a good shake. Stuff's pretty cool. Right, so you just want Nylox oxide pretty much in the recesses. Like so. Nice little weathering. It's just a nice little touch. Right, now let's get these greens on. Why is that gap being filled? Right, so we need some... either I'm losing my mind, or paints are literally moving themselves. Where did that go? Caliban green was right in front of me. Damn, I literally am losing my bat here. Just realised there's a stone on the base not done. Okay, so I want this green just to be, again, close to the tree. Let's not hit Sid the squirrel. Sid the squirrel. He's a cool little dude. And also down the bottom here. So on the inside of here as well, I'm going to get that green glaze Okay. Could put a little bit on there if you wanted at the top. It's not really needed, but it's okay. Now for some Upstone green glazes. Just let that dry a little bit. So I've got that stone there to do, that stone there, that skull and that skull on the base, and then these little bits of grass. But then pretty much the base is done. And I need some gravel on it. But I can't do the mud until all the gravel's done. I'm tempted to put a little bit of water effect around the back of here actually. I do have a bottle of it over there. This stuff here. It's really good for creating waterfalls, this stuff, but yeah, sure, do it, man. I'd love to see it. God, I'd love to see people's work. Yeah, if you've anyone in chat, if you want to join the Discord, !Discord, you want to fire some work up there and show it off, and throw it up on the screen and have a little look at it. Okay. Should be enough paint there. Yes, there is. Get a nice Upstone glow glaze going. Let's have a look at what Gig's done. Oh, wicked. Check this out. Not only is it a Blood Bowl team, it's a fucking Halfling team. Oh, that is awesome. They look so cool. I need to do a Halfling team just for the shits and giggles. I really do need to do a Halfling team. They look so cool. Beautiful models. Really nicely job done, man. Do you get those tree men with it? Or do you have to buy those 2 tree men separately? That is nice. That is a nice team. Yep, I think I've got my Blood Bowl team. Really nice work, man. Really, really nice work there, Gig. Love them. So this is just a warp stone. It's kind of sort of going to sit on the bottom like algae. So it's like a bit of a glaze, but a bit of stippling. So I want that sort of, that bright part of the green just to stay on the recesses. Like so. You can kind of see it slowly building up. Yeah, I really need to paint some Blood Bowl. I think we might have I think we might make a new day for my schedule. So I'm going to post up a schedule later. And have Blood Bowl Friday or something like that. You've done a really good job, man. Oh man, they're really cool. You've done a really good job. Fantastic job. Right. I think that's pretty much the base, 99% done. So we've got the trees all done and the walls all done. It's all been weathered. I think it's looking pretty good. So what I need to do now is this scroll and in there. Then I've got a couple of little bits and pieces to do on the base, but I'm going to get some gravel on that first. In fact, we can do that now actually. So I've got my glue and everything there. Get my glue holder. And then we can paint something else for a bit. Maybe a Blood Bowl. Now I'm going to do a... Oh, cheers, buddy. Thank you. Right, so I want that. I'll add a little bit of water to this. Just a little bit, not too much. Get an old brush. Always use an old brush. There you go, an old Artis Orbis brush. Give the sand a good shake. Okay. What is that? Whatever that was that melted on top of there, that's not good. smells bad. Okay, let's give that a good shake. So, mix the glue in with a little bit of water. Hey, thank you very much for that follow, bud. Much appreciated. Just using an old brush because this one's going to go in the bin. Doesn't matter if I go up against the sides of the brown because I can repaint all of that when I paint the gravel. Just pushing it to the side. Thanks very much for that follow, Bob. Much appreciated. Okay. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm just going to do the front part because I'm tempted to do some sort of water effect on the back of there, which is easy enough to do. So then just stick it in the sand. Give it a little tap. Clean off the edge with your finger. No, you know what, I'm just going to gravel it. The problem is, if I end up doing a water effect on her base, I have to do a water effect on all of the army's base, and then that would just become annoying. Okay, let's do this again. Okay. Perfect. So it just needs to dry now. And then when that dries, it'll probably take about 24 hours for that base to dry completely. And then you get the sand on. things like that you can just get a dry brush and just brush off. So okay. So she needs to dry. We can still work on her. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to quickly get myself another fresh drink and go to the toilet. And then when we get back, I'm going to do that scroll. And then I'm going to base coat this cape white. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how she is looking. Yeah, pretty pleased with that. So once all this is dry, then I can do the whole brown and get it all dry brushed and washed and everything else, and then do the last little bits on the base. But yeah, she's almost finished. And then it'll be Friday. We'll probably be tackling the inside of these, the wings. And then I can get the wings glued into place, and then I can do the outside of the wings while they're on the miniature. And then that'll be her done. So really pleased with how she's going so far. So I hope everyone likes her. Right, so I'm going to quickly go to the loot, and I will be right back very shortly. I thought I turned that off. Right, so yes, if you want to win Gazgul, $10 donation gets you a ticket, and you can vote multiple times, and you'll have a chance to win Gazgul. Failed at streaming there. Cheers, Gig, for keeping me right. Oh, thank you very much. It's been fun to work on it. Very happy with how the trees turned out. So I've just mixed in some Rhinox hide and Zandy dust to create the shadow. And I'm just going to slowly bring that up for the highlights inside the shadow area. And then using Screamer Skull just to bring up the highlights. Just got a little bit more Rhinox hide for that shadow. Right, now slowly work on the highlights. Oh, love the new 3.0 rules. They are so good. It's really changed the game, and it's changed the game for the best. There's so much more player interaction now. It's just so much better. Honestly, really is good. If you're on the fence about Age of Sigmar 3, then you really shouldn't be. Get it pre-ordered, because it is fantastic. That tree's annoying me. Slowly getting that scroll up. I really need to invest in a wireless headset. Or little earbuds. So I've got earbuds, but I just can't use them because the mic on this camera is not great. Okay, I'm going to have to add some white into this shortly. A bit of white. Let's push these highlights up on this a little bit. Okay. You finished your bone there, Pops? Is that why you're back in here? Okay, let's get some hedge highlights onto this. Poppy, did you just sigh there? You got your bone, which you haven't had in a couple of days because you've been bald. You just got sassy with me there. Unbelievable dog. There. Scroll is pretty much done. Just need to get some slightly lighter tones just to pick out this. Perfect. Life of a dog. Yeah. She's so sassy. She really is. Right. Happy with that. Cool. Now the bit I've been dreading. The bit that I've really not wanted to do. Yeah, the bit that I really didn't want to do is the inside of this cloak, but I need to do it. About there. Otherwise, it's just, oh, I should have done this first. Oh well. It's going to have to be slow and steady. My fault for putting it off for so long. Knocking swapping things over. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a few for a Golden Demon and then picking which ones I really like. It's probably going to take a couple of coats to get a real solid white. In a way, I really didn't want to do this now, but in a way I'm kind of glad I am, because otherwise there's a potential of me hitting the white while I'm doing the tree. It's getting in there is going to be a bit of a ball ache, but slow and steady. So I'll tidy up the bottom of it. So what I should have done is just base coated this first, and then done everything around it really carefully, and that would have been easier. But Games Workshop don't sculpt these things sometimes in an easy way. So a little bit there, but because it's really thin, just a damp brush will get that off. Right. And for the hard part. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a pain in the ass as soon as I seen it, but it's just a matter of being slow. It's not so bad, it's this part here that's going to be the worst part, because it's getting the brush into it. And this real sort of top part of this fold here. Pretty much. Pretty much got it. Not made too much of a mess, which is good. So let that layer dry, and then we'll put another one on. Yeah, the good thing with that is Abaddon's cloak can come off, so you don't have to keep it on if you don't want to. Okay, let's start the second layer. And yes, 100% I will be putting contrast media, contrast paint over the top of this. Because contrast paint is great for doing white. Inside there's not dry 100% yet. This is an amazing model, but the downside is the cloak being attached to the tree. If it didn't have that, it would be awesome. Like, seriously awesome. Do not understand why that is attached like that. Yeah, but if you want to learn how to use contrast paints properly, go and check out Juan Geraldo Miniatures over on YouTube. What he does is it's a whole other level of what you can do with contrast paints. Absolutely amazing. One was the one that changed my mind on contrast paints. Before that, I was pretty much not interested in them. But he's definitely changed my mind. Kind of give me an idea of a good way of their application. And yeah, it's been fun learning how to use them in different ways. But yeah, if you want to check them out, just type into YouTube heavy metal contrast style, and it'll basically come up. Right, let's see what that's like. It's still a bit patchy, so I'm just going to need to dry, and then we're going to put another coat of that on. And then we can get the contrast paint in there. And to be fair, I've not made as much of a mess as I thought I would, so that's good. I'll tidy all that up. Just give that a couple of minutes to dry. Good thing about Corax White, it dries really quick. Yeah, one is insane. I mean, he paints like Games Workshop's box art using contrast paints and highlights. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. But what really gets me is how he comes up with the colours of what to use. So to paint black, he'll paint an area like a grey or a blue and then put black contrast paint over the top of it. You know, it's... I've been trying to get him to come onto Twitch. I think he would do really well on Twitch. But he quite likes YouTube, and obviously, you know, he's got a 43,000 subscribers on YouTube, so some size audience. But I've been trying to get him over here. Come to the dark side. Right, it just needs to dry, and then I can get the contrast paint out. Yes. But what I'm going to do before I do is very carefully just fix something slightly, which I made a bit of a mistake. Yeah, that template is great. So what I've started doing with my metallics is I'll thin black template down and put it over metallic areas. And or if I want a sort of bluey grey finish, I'll use what's it called? Bastillum Grey. That really works. Okay. Apothecary White. Okay. Still not dry in there yet. But yeah, now I've got that on, now she's really starting to pop. She's really starting to pop. Okay, I'll do this part first. Like so. Just making sure it doesn't pool, so got that line there, so I just want to take that away. That's good. In the recesses, that's perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do now is just let that dry a little bit, because it's still a little bit wet on the inside. Yeah, he does orcs. He loves orcs. It just needs that to dry. Right, cool. Let's go. Is that dry? 100% not, and I just pulled the paint off. Yay! But who cares? It's getting contrast paint over it. I was supposed to be playing A Song of Ice and Fire tonight, but my mate has been called into work, so instead I'm going to have to think of something else to do, so I might watch The Witcher again. I haven't watched The Witcher for a while. Okay. Okay, let's just slap that. to settle this a couple of minutes, and then we'll get rid of the recesses, the excess. Gonna get a lot pooling down here. I took a massive amount of bit of paint off there. I'll have to fix that. Cool. So that needs to dry. So while that's drying, I can tidy up the bottom part. See, there's a mistake right there. So what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of this. I'll just tidy up the bottom part. Okay, just tidy that black part up. Okay, it needs to dry, but I can still do the other parts. Hey Paulie, how are you, buddy? So I'm just getting some Ulthuan grey now. Just going to bring up these highlights on the white. Might actually paint those a different colour, but the contrast paint is perfect for just smoothing that white out. Cool. So, and then over here as well. So we want to keep this Ulthuan grey to the highest points of the cloak. I'm not going to be worried too much about what's going on in there. Probably just put a little bit Ulthuan grey in here. But in there can stay where it is, and then this highlight. Now, I'm going to keep that without the highlight. Then we're going to get some Fenrisian grey and start glazing in the blue shadows. Could leave it with just the contrast paint, but the it'll look so much better once you add in those shadows. Right, so dried yet. Okay, so let's get some Fenrisian grey, make a glaze. Okay, and very carefully we're just going to start glazing in the shadows. Do get some white on the gold, like a plonker. Right, just need that to dry a little bit. I'm just going to fix this gold. Awesome. Right. More glazes. Fix. Better. So what I'm going to do eventually is I'm going to get some Thunderhawk Blue. Just strengthen these deeper areas of the shadows. Some Thunderhawk Blue. To be fair, I think her main body, apart from the wings, is pretty much done now. Bit of highlighting on the white to do, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. Quite happy with it. She has been super fun to work on. Although I say that now, but I've not started those wings yet. going to annoy me. Okay, I need to fix those 2 dots. I'll wicked, I'll have a look at that in a minute. I'm just going to fix these 2 dots. Right. Okay, let's have a look at this Vampire Hunter. Wow, it's pretty awesome, dude. Looks pretty awesome. It's a crazy ass Vampire Hunter. Look at that chain. Yeah, nice work, man. Nice work. It's an interesting model. Is that did that 3D printed, you say? Or did you pick that up from another company? I think GW just released 2 Vampire Hunters. Oh, all right, cool. Just building up these edge highlights. Okay. I'm going to do the inside. Okay. Let's highlight. Hoping to try no metallic on the sword for the first time. Ooh. Well, hopefully it works. Let me know what you think. Okay. This edge highlights done. I've just got gold all over there, didn't I? Where did I see that? Just there? Yeah. Never really going to see that unless it's at that angle. Right, I'll glaze that down in a second. So yeah, it's the blue. See, Crisis Protocol are going to be releasing a blade miniature. Looks pretty awesome. Right. Okay, I'm happy enough with that. I do need to tidy up this part again. Okay. Just gonna get some thin black paint here. Just run it straight down that deep recess here. Right, that's pretty much the main body done now. I could do little bits like maybe get some highlights on the black here. Other than that, so yeah. So hopefully it's almost done. She's got, let me think, what am I going to need to do? Probably tidy up that little thing there because I've got the inside one to do. What's everyone think? Obviously the wings. Can get that little stone done actually while I'm here. Oh, that is $1 million question right now. I have no idea what I'm going to do her wings as. That's the one thing I don't know yet. Probably going to have to Google. I think she needs white wings. So, probably going to Google white wings. Probably have a little look at what's references I've got. And then go from there. But, yeah, not too sure in essentially what to get for her wings. Yeah, they're going to be... I'm going to do the insides of them first. And then glue them in place and then do the outsides of them. But I'm thinking potentially white with white feathers here, but then this line here and this line sort of blended into sort of a sort of going from a light grey into a dark grey, and then on the tips sort of dark grey. I don't know. Do I have a picture of her in the Discord? Seriously, I haven't got a picture of her? That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Right. Well, yeah. Not too sure. Well, I'll have a Google. So what I need to do now is let her dry. And let her dry. This base dry. And then I can get that done. There's 2 skulls to do, but I can't do that skull until the gravel's dried. So I think she's pretty much done for the day, I think. So I'm very pleased with how she's turned out. So what I think I will do is I think I will call the stream there. It's nearly 4 hours. So I can go make myself some tea and get myself some sorted and enjoy the rest of my evening. So I was supposed to be playing a Song of Ice and Fire tonight, but that's not happening. So what we will do is we will do that, and we'll do this. So thank you to everyone that turned up today. Thank you. I expected a slow stream. So who is on? Who is on? Who is on that we can go and raid? Anyone in particular? Anyone wants to go and raid? Do you know what? War Boss Tusker is on. We haven't raided War Boss for a while. So I don't think I've raided him for any mean of time. So we're going to go and raid War Boss Tusker. And I will see everyone back on Friday lunchtime. I wasn't going to stream because I was going up a mountain, but I'm going up next week instead. So I'll be back and we will be tackling Yndrasta's wings. So again, thank you to everybody who followed. Thank you to everyone who turned up today and joined in on chat. And I much appreciate it. And I'll see everybody on Friday.
Great releases. I'm so excited for the new boys kit, for example. Like, I cannot wait to see what they do with it. Hey, 8-pointed star painting. Thank you so much for the raid. Let me do you a solid and move this paper towel off of my keyboard real quick. We accidentally got some paint on our keyboard because we broke out our airbrush today and I did not put protective stuff down, but you beat me to it. Well, double the shout out. Thank you, Icarus.